Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. What's up, Babak? Thanks for tuning in. I'm just gonna wait for a couple of minutes for a couple more people to show up, and then we'll start this sketchbook tour. I had so much fun in the last sketchbook tour that I thought, hey, I have a couple of more sketchbooks that I thought I could share, and it's always nice to go back in time and revisit old notes and see what was on your mind, what were you thinking of, what were you reading, what were you listening to. So, anyways, let's kick it off and let's see where this leads us. So I found this old sketchbook. So I'm still a big fan of Moleskine art sketchbooks, hardback. This is the large one. This is about, I think, this is a 5-inch by 8 1/4 inch, and I'm quite working on this grade. Hey guys, welcome. Hey Naya, Nilisha. So the sketchbook tour is really just flipping through old sketchbooks, rediscovering old notes, reconnecting with stuff that I was doing in the past, and so I'm just looking at this right now, and I don't have any notes of when this was done. So I'm guessing this is probably in 2016, 17 maybe. I'm not sure, but we'll figure it out. So what is this here? This is, so group methods. Oh yeah, this was a facilitation workshop that was run by Martin Gilbraith, if I remember correctly his surname. This was all from the TOP, Top Methods Facilitation. This was a lot of fun, and I got to learn about their method called the ORID method. This is all about how you can craft questions on the 4 different areas or 4 different things that people are thinking about. So questions about what is it that you have seen, what have you heard, what have you felt, what needs more clarification. The R, meaning reflection. What is coming up for you? What do you feel? What memories has it triggered? Interpretive. So, what comes up to you? What comes to your mind when you see these ideas? What ideas do you see? What connections do you see? And then finally, decisional. D for decisional. So what choices do you want to make now? What options are available for you? How would you like to respond? How do you relate? And how are you going to move forward? So the now what? What gut, so what, now what? I like that. So that's I use that a lot actually in my sessions to help folks make sure that everyone has been heard, and we speak to those different heads. And what is this? This is more notes on different tools. Yeah, so a lot of the notes sometimes they don't make sense to me. So maybe we might be able to try and figure them out together. We'll see. So here is again, this was day 2 of the workshop, and here we were looking at a consensus workshop. So this was the whole method of how TOP runs their consensus workshops. I would highly recommend you look it up, especially if you just search for ORID, ORID. If you Google that, that's pretty cool. So let's move on. Which ideas you choose first? Okay, so this is still notes about ORID. And this is an old little note about Yoda. Okay, and here's some old notes about the beat sheet. So this is from a book by Blake Snyder, who wrote about a method he came up with on how to design a script for a movie, screenplay. And this is his whole method, various steps that he goes. Welcome, Sophia. Hey guys, welcome. Yeah, so if you have any questions, please fire away. I've got the screen in front of me here, so I'll be able to catch your questions. So please fire away and stop me if there's something you see on the page and you want me to explain. I'm just flipping fast here to see what is there. Storyteller's Visual Journal Workbook, New Equilibrium. Okay, so here, this is when I was looking into various ways of visualizing processes on storytelling. So there was a time when I was really into storytelling. Again, 7-key structure, again, all on storytelling. Here I was trying to come up with some way to help folks structure a story. I think this was based on the David's plan. All right, and some more notes on storytelling. So here, these are so the major dramatic question. This comes from script writers. So here it says, at the center of every story is the driving force which all elements come together. So when you're scripting a story, you need to have the question that your audience always have. What is the question you want your audience? What question are you answering that audience is asking? That's right. So here, this is another way of trying to tell a story, trying to explain a story to somebody, but in a very short form. So who is your protagonist? What is their obstacle? And what is their internal or external goal? So here is the question. Will Romeo and Juliet ever be together? Will Dorothy get back to Kansas? Will Rocky beat Apollo Creed? So this is using the same layout there. Okay, and here's some old notes. Welcome, guys. Hey, I'm just going through my old sketchbook, so welcome to the sketchbook tour. If you have any questions, please fire away. So more notes on why, how, mission statement. Don't know what that's about. How was your day? I'm grateful for. What would make today great? 3 amazing things that happened today. Again, more notes on gratitude. Some notes about processes. I don't know what this is about. I can't remember what this is about. What's this? Oh, this is from the book, The 4 Agreements. Let's probably hear some takeaways from the book. Creating understanding and ability of empathy. I haven't seen this in ages, so it's funny to go through this again. Try and make some sort of meaning out of all of this. What is the meaning of a hug? All right. Some more notes about I don't know what. Playing around with character design. Welcome, everybody. If you have any questions, please fire away. I'll be checking the screen every now and then. So yeah, so every now and then I remember I used to do a lot of these sketch note quotes that I quite like. This is a good one. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Epictetus. That was a good one. Don't know what that is about. Oh, haven't seen this in a while. So these are sketch notes from, okay, here we have a date. So this is from 2015, so I was almost close. So these are old notes from the festival. It's called Kick. It's based in, it happens every year in Namur, which is a small town in Belgium. And it's a digital arts festival. And they invite various speakers and artists from around the world to come together and share ideas. So it's pretty much kind of like TED Talks, but this is all focused around art and technology. So it's probably the only place I would go to look into what are the latest digital trends that are happening. And it's really inspiring, especially the international speakers they bring on board. So it's great, and of course it's great to practice sketch notes. So this is just various speakers, various sketch notes, and now I remember Tim's talk very well. An artist that uses low tech technology and had a really funny sense of humor in using low tech to tell funny stories. We underestimate the skills we can do with our hands. That's what he was doing. Interactive amusement arcades. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So if you have a chance, look him up. Tim Hunkin. Fun stuff. Next, who do we have here? Luna from the Netherlands. Conditional design book. What was this about? Yes, another artist. Digital artist from the Netherlands. Oh yeah, this is Dog Studio. These guys were doing some really cool stuff with little music boxes, interactive music apps. Who's this guy about? This is Andy Thomas. All about UX design. We put the user in the center of what we do. Feel free to pop any questions you guys might have. So who's next? Architects have always been designing machines. So most of these talks, they're usually it's an opportunity for these artists to come on stage and share the various projects they've done. So usually I'm just grabbing a couple of ideas about what is it that they're doing. They're speaking so fast, they have so many projects. So it's quite difficult to get the big idea. So Stefano, data visual artist. So here again, he's just sharing a lot of different projects. And this guy, if I remember correctly, he was working with low tech as well, framed into an interesting way. Data is about insights, not pictures. Totally true. Who's this? Rachel Wingfield. Designers are future makers. Oh yes, I remember this project now. Beautiful project. Architect and textures. So she had audiences would come into this space and experience these sounds and visuals that will be projected onto a dome. I love it when they do that stuff. Activate personal spaces. And she uses science. I remember it was all about science. Yes. Who's next? Antoine and Irini. So yeah, so these are, from what I remember, their talk was all about proposing ideas. If you're not passionate, walk away. So thank you for your question, Chocolate Claire. So these I just did for myself because of the event. I find the event so inspiring. So I'm just sitting in the corner with a little overhead, tiny little light. So I'm trying my best not to disturb other people in the audience and just take notes just for myself. A lot of these artists, I might reach out to them in the audience at the end in the cocktail parties at the end of the evening, or I might go and search for them on Twitter or on social media, and just learn more about what is it that they do. It's just so inspiring. So again, yeah, sketch notes just for myself. Yes, and Nicholas Roy, I remember him. Yeah, it was so refreshing to hear his talk because all the talks were on digital, and his talk was just high tech through low tech, you know? He was using vacuum cleaners and sponge balls and using like a laptop to open up a curtain, moving a funny curtain across a window, basically using junk, essentially, repurposing junk. And curiosity as his main driver. So that was a lot of fun. So yeah, some of them might catch on Twitter. So as what I'm doing is that I'm sketchnoting, and then immediately after the talk I would share on Twitter or on their application. So they have their own app, social media app, and I'll be sharing it on there. So it's always nice to receive a bit of feedback from the speakers. Now I remember Tobias, yes. He was the final speaker on that day. Very inspiring. If you're familiar with Casey Neistat, his talk really reminded me a lot of Casey Neistat and his approach to life and art. So yeah, great takeaways. Best way to complain is to make things. Learn something new. Action expresses priorities. So this was something that really rang true for me. Let yourself be stupid. Ignore everybody. Trust your gut. Stay busy. Stay in action. Stay in motion, sorry. Don't overthink it. So loads of takeaways. Very inspiring again. Yes. And here are some notes on a sketchnote recipe workshop I was working on. Oh, and this is an old sketch note from when I was in the south of France at my partner's place. Her mom is every now and then she cans meat or vegetables that she's grown in the garden. And I was really impressed with the whole process, so I thought to create a little sketch note takeaway from the whole process. So here she debones the chicken, seasons with salt and pepper, inserts them into the jars, covers them, screws on the cap, places them in a big, large pot outdoors, fills it up with water, goes out and chops the wood. Yes, she does. Lights the fire, boils it for 3 hours. I don't think she had a glass of wine, but probably I did. And then turns it off, and then able to store it, and then stores it in a cool, dry place. So Joelle does this almost every year, and it's become a ritual of ours every year as well, where we go and can our meat and vegetables. This is a fun sketch note. All right. And next, this was a sketch note from Speech Battle. Yeah, this was an event that happened here in Brussels. Write a speech. And then there's a jury. and the audience gets to vote who's the winner. Some other notes. So yeah, so this sketchbook as well has loads of bits and pieces, bits and bobs that doesn't really make sense. Sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it doesn't. Ah yes, I remember this now. Call to action. So this was a little template I had designed and trying to help entrepreneurs and trying to put their ideas together. So who is this business idea for, or who would benefit from it? When and where is it going to happen? How is it going to happen and why? I think this is about a business idea. What do you want the audience to do, remember, when they walk out the door? I think this is about that. Yeah, a persuasive speech. Yeah, I think it was something along those lines. Okay, and here are some takeaways from Tom's UK. So yes, I was at a a festival all about traveling and adventure. And here I think Tom's gave a talk about what they do, but as well as they were running a workshop. That's right. Some more random notes. This was about Digitizer is an organization here in Brussels that is all about digital transformation, AI. And this was a poster. I think I was taking some notes to design for them. This is a nice little note about some ingredients. 10 must-have ingredients. Okay. A mandala. Didn't get to finish that one. Okay. So here we have a talk about how to pitch my startup to investors. So this was a talk by two ladies now, I remember. Just giving tips on tips to entrepreneurs on what to consider when they're sharing their idea with potential investors. Take the time to explain your idea, tell it like a story. The body is the here and now. So we had a couple of exercises. That was fun now, I remember. Some more random notes. Okay. And here's a sketch note about a book where good ideas come from. The 7 Patterns of Innovation. This is a good one. I haven't seen this in a while. I've forgotten about it. So every now and then I am sketchnoting books that I read. So this is, I should come back to this. I should bookmark this and look into this a little more, since I am currently looking at various stuff about the flow, the slow hunch, serendipity, error, expectation, borrow from a different field. Ah, yes. I should come back to this. This is cool. Yeah, so if you have any questions, please fire away. This was from, the first Imagination Club session I went to. It was a meetup, and here people were just sharing various ideas that they're working in. There's a group of facilitators that come together, facilitators, coaches. That's Tom. There's, I think this is another template design and call to action. So if you have any questions about what you're seeing right now, please fire away. Happy to share. Happy to answer your questions. All right, so this was a workshop by IAF Belgium. That's right. Consensus building a building on a deserted island. How do we get off from here? So yeah, so I think I was just mapping out the whole process, notes for myself. Hey Alex, welcome. Just going through my old sketchbook here, seeing what little nuggets I could find, what little things I could rediscover. Lydia, this was from Creative Morning sessions that unfortunately does not run anymore. It was held at the Community Art Center Burschgaborg in the center, and they would invite various speakers to come down and just share the inspiring work they were doing. And here at the time, Lydia was sharing her fight against youth unemployment, sorry. And she was just sharing how she's helping various speakers with their CV, encouraging folks to build their confidence when looking for work. And here is some ideas, probably stuff that I've come across online for banners. Some cool banners here we could use for titles. Oh, and this is some notes from a weekend we took in Paris. We took the train to Paris, had brunch with some friends, breakfast in America. Oh yeah, that was a brunch we had at an American. Yeah, that's what you do, right? You go to Paris to eat American burgers. So this is just various sketches I took while we were walking around the city. Stamp, I think that was from the Moleskine Center. Random doodles. Change is constant. Oh yes, it is. I think this was a video I was working on. 6 ways to think outside the box. Restrict yourself. Take a chance. Make mistakes. Listen. Turn it upside down. There is no box. Bansanjoku, wow, that's been a while. So Bansanjoku is the Aikido dojo that I go to here in Brussels. So I guess this is a note for somebody told me about it. So here again, some more banners, going banner crazy. This is funny. I have this big bank of all these banners, but in the end, usually I just go for a little box, because these just take too much time, and all I want is just a quick banner. So, but these are quite pretty. I like these ones. These are my favorite go-to ones, or maybe this one. Those are fun. All right. What else do we have here? Some random notes. Some random doodles. Okay, and what's this from? Brussels Changemakers. Brussels Changemakers. Oh yes, this was from another meetup. from Valerie. That's right. She's a facilitator and coach here in Brussels. And this was a masterclass on strategic thinking. We don't know what the future holds. Again, change is constant. That was the buzzword at the time. 95% of the time, we don't know what we're doing. Okay. Confirmation bias. We ignore facts that challenge our opinions. So here she was sharing, obviously, various cognitive biases, cognitive distortions. Great stuff to keep in mind. Coming up with ideas. Groupthink versus aggressive advocacy. Aim for excellence. Change your beliefs. Self-confidence. Delegate your weaknesses. 3 ways to improve your strategic thinking skills. Be more active. Include diverse teams. Get out of the office. Yeah. That's a tricky one right now. Okay, and there's another one. Oh yeah, from another one from Creative Mornings. So this is Sebastian, the guy who is behind the Brussels Beer Project, and he gave a talk about how the Brussels Beer Project came to be, and he shared his story. How his friend from Belgium called him up from Brazil to come and brew beer together. And ever since then, his life is never the same. So a lot of his, the biggest takeaway from his talk I remember is that risk, taking the big risk. Start small, surround yourself with positive people. I think that was the biggest takeaway for me. Partnership first. Make it. People want local, so yeah, local. This was is a really inspiring speaker. I think this talk and his other talk, maybe on TEDx, is online. So if you're interested, just search Brussels Beer Project or Sebastian Morvan on YouTube. Who's next? Who's this? Oh, this is a talk from Fuck Up Nights. So Fuck Up Night it was quite active, but they're not running it anymore, unfortunately. And they were inviting various speakers who share failed business stories. So here is Yannick showing his failure story. And here's some more stories. Oh no, this is from another event, another meetup I went to, where Tomislav Perko shared his story, how to travel the world with almost no money. So he wrote a book, and he made a little video as well on how he hitchhiked around the world with nothing really. Couch surfed, sleeping under vans, cooking with locals. Oh, that was the book he wrote, 1,000 Days of Spring. He wrote that to inspire others to travel on their own. And he said, don't trust the horror stories. He said, there's a lot of horror stories out there, but don't trust them and just go for it. If you have a chance, just Google his name. Hey Vanessa, yeah, I agree, and I have a friend of mine right now, Anne, who's traveling South America, and she is a girl, and she is on her own, and she's hitchhiking around South America. So I believe there are some parts of the world that is still safe for ladies to move around. So I would look into that too. So moving on, we have another, going back to another evening from the Fuck Up Nights, and this is another talk from a guy who shared his failure story. I remember I had a few drinks when I was making notes of this, so I was a bit tipsy when I was writing this. So it doesn't make a lot of sense right now, but it looks like I had a lot of fun. All right, so another talk from Fuck Up Nights. It's such a shame that they stopped these. These were a lot of fun. Some takeaways from that talk. And there's another note from Blake Snyder. And these are his 10 types of characters from movies. Stereotypical stories. This was a good read. All right, moving on. This was from Brett Kobe gave a talk on 9 things you didn't know about social video. So here he was giving a talk on some tips on how you can use social video on social media. Here's Evan Lemos. 5 reasons why making video is like baking a cake. So here he was sharing his 5 top reasons why it's so simple and how you can make your own video real quick. And I think that's about it. I think we're coming close to the end, and we've gone overtime. And I see the time right now. I'm going real quick right now. I don't see anything interesting anymore. So thank you all very much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed that little sketchbook tour, and I've got some more sketchbooks here, so I'm hoping to do this again and look forward to meeting you all soon. So stay safe, stay kind, and I will leave you with a little visual from Sonia Delaney. Bye for now.